back to my channel. Today we want to talk about the new Cosmic Brushes Gothic palette, and if you want to see if I do enjoy the quality, how I did this look, then just keep on watching. Let's talk about the palette. I am so excited. As you can tell, I already finished my makeup. I already used the palette, but let's have a few things, talk about what this palette is, where it comes from, how much it is, what it provides. This is of course the newest Cosmic Brushes palette. This is a smaller size. This also says, as you can tell, Gothic. This is a little bit of embrace. This is an imprint. It's so damn pretty. By the way, the sleeve that it has the same imprint. This is regularly, I think, £22. And if you buy it on Monolith, this is $37.50. So it definitely is higher up there in price. It is indeed, I think, the same price as the bigger palettes, which, well, that's not so good. If you buy it on the website though, it is €30.95. So it definitely is also up there in price if you encounter customs as well as shipping, just so you know. This is a 12-pan palette. It has, of course, a theme of purples and like darker colors, moodier colors. I do enjoy that quite a bit. It has 5 metallics, 7 mattes, 1 multichrome and 1 duochrome, and 1 matte with shimmer. Listen, I had to read that. 5 metallics, well, the one multichrome is this one. This is the multichrome, and this shifts from plum to gold to green. We do have also 1 duochrome. I think this is this one, the obscure shade, which is a purple to blue. Yes, it is. And the matte with shimmer is of course the black. You can definitely tell it has some like shimmers to it. I didn't try that in my tutorial, but yeah, you can definitely tell. This one is also a little bit more crumbly. I do have that in my inner corners. You can, I think you can see the shift to the blue, which, I mean, that's stunning. And I also wear the multichrome today, but it's just on my lower lash, so I don't think you can see the shift as well. I think this, let me maybe also show you the bigger size palettes, the Delicious Lights. This is the last palette they released, Cosmic Brushes, and this is the Delicious Lights. And let me show you the size difference for both of these palettes. You can definitely tell. I think the bigger one has 20 shades, if I'm not mistaken. Could be not. They are though same pen sizing. Yeah, it's 20 shades in compared to 12. So there is 8 shades missing, but we do have the same pen size in both of the palettes. So it's just like is like 1.5, like 2 rows less of thing, which I do enjoy that they have also like now smaller palettes, because I feel like this is really nice, and I hope they do more, because I do enjoy a smaller palette a little bit more than the bigger ones. I do have them of course at home, but if they have like this size, I can also travel with that, which means, listen, I'm not that basic witch where I travel with these palettes, but I could. Listen, I could. Listen, I absolutely love the color story. This pastel is amazing. You will see in my tutorial when I put that on, like, it is bright, it is beautiful. And listen, if I wouldn't have wanted to show you a few of the shades, I would just have done like this shade, and then the pastel shade, and I would be done. I would be fun and happy, but of course I wanted to show you a few other shades as well, so that's not what I did. I think these are amazing. I don't see a difference in like the quality of the Delicious Delights to this one. Again, in both of these shades we do have a multichrome as well, which I think similar-ish. We have definitely a little bit more of a like a more foiled shimmer or multichrome in here, and this one is definitely similar but not the same. This one has not like the best shift. I would wish that this would be like a different multichrome, so we definitely can see. Let me swatch both of them. Let me do that for you, because I feel like the multichrome we had in the Delicious Delights palette, there, yeah, can you tell? The multichrome, this is Delicious Delights, this is here the Gothic palette. They are super damn similar, and I feel like this one definitely has more foilness, definitely punches more, but it's like this is almost the same shade. But this is a little bit more from the Delicious Delights. It has just a little bit more punch. I'm trying to... It definitely, if I like rub it into my hand, the Delicious Delight definitely has a more green shift, whereas the other one is more gold. I don't know if you can tell though. This one is a plum to gold to green. Again, this one is as well from the Delicious Delights one, but you definitely can see the shift is way more shifty in this palette than in the Gothic palette, which is a little bit sad, to be honest. Other than this, though, I don't have any problems with using the shades on my eyes. Again, this obscure shade, which is a little bit more crumbly, but again, do feel that this the case for every single one of them. So yeah, do you need that palette though, is the other question I always ask myself. And I do have a few palettes that are similar, so I feel like if you saw them or you have them, which I don't have any of these, that could be like, if you have any of these, I don't think, maybe depending on what your preference are, could be something that like you say, listen, I'm not sure about that, probably won't buy that. One is the Fight Club by Menagerie. I wanted the palette so badly, but sadly Menagerie is not on Monolith, which is a little bit more difficult for me to get in Europe. So this one is also an all purple palette, definitely more bright than the Gothic, which, I mean, you can tell it's not the fun bright, like, you know, so you see that, did you? Then we do have also the Lethal Cosmetics Night Flower. This one, on the other hand, I feel like is a little bit like also way lighter than this palette, also not as deep going as this palette. So if you wanted to have this one, but you're like, listen, this is a little bit too much for me, maybe go with the Lethal Cosmetics Night Flower. And then on the last one is the Sugar Drizzle the Matte, also an all matte palette, which this one is not. But if you're like, listen, I do like the color story, but for me the shimmers is not my thing, I want to have an all matte one, this could be it. Again, there are a lot of like similar shades, even more purples, and there are also a little bit more teals inside. That's still like the three palettes I like in the first one saw as like similar as the one that we have here with the Gothic palette. So again, if you like that or one of the others, go with them. I think though, because I have none of these to be honest, I think I will enjoy this. I definitely think this is also like a good extension to the to the Delicious Delights one, because there's also like a few mattes inside as well. It's not the same, but they are quite similar-ish. So just so you know, I enjoy this. I think, again, it's a great price, at least when you're from the UK. Again, I don't regret that. I hope they come out with more of these medium size palettes, because that would be really, really fun. And again, I do enjoy the format, to be honest. Again, packaging wise, it's stunning. Listen, that's all I can say. Leave a comment down below if you bought this palette or why you didn't buy it. I would love to hear that. But now let's come to the tutorial part. Let's play with the palette. I am so excited for it, to be honest. I think I want to use this shade as well as this one, because both of them are like, I don't know, it's like drawing me in. And I definitely want to try the lightest purple shade as well. By the way, my nails are a mess, I'm sorry for that. But I think that's these shades I want to use badly, and then the rest we will just figure out together. Let's start with the deep shades so that the look is really nice and smoky, and this is Phantom. And we will go in, I will use the Ref 13 Mini, because this is a really small brush. You can also use a liner brush or something like this. I am at the moment just wearing some gloss or lip oil, just so I know. I do want to add in like a real dark deep purple, but I have to say I'm not quite sure. Like, look at this. That's pigmentation. Not quite sure in which direction I want to go at the end. So if it's a dark purple, if I do want to go in with a like black, not sure. Okay, we do have to like do it a little bit higher as well. You can definitely see if I just look right in the camera, this is, by the way, stunning, but it also like is already a little bit like covered by my hood, which I would always recommend to do. Like this will be like a fake cut crease because I don't want to do the cut crease, but we'll see about that. But this is just the one shade. I think I want to round it up a little bit here on that edge as well. I will blend that out in a second so that this is like just the shape of it. Again, I do enjoy this brush quite a bit for that because listen, that went amazingly, and it is a round brush, which again, it's not usually the case. When I use like a liner brush or something like this, there are not like so round edges, which of course you can do as well, just saying. But I will like round this a little bit. I feel like just like blend this minimally on the edges, so just that we have a little bit of a deep plummy base for the next color, which will be lace, because I think I want to do that. And let's also add this, by the way, when we're on that, to my lower lashes as well. Just so to my pupil, not any further, so my eyes still a little bit open and not too closed down, because I do have, at least in my opinion, smaller eyes. So that is the state at this point. Listen, I'm loving it just with one shade, but we will of course use more. Let's go in with the Refer 14. The moment I'm trying to use a little bit of lace on it and just like buffed it a little bit to blend. Oh, interesting. It definitely works. Of course, you could have done like any other like purple shade in the palette, and there are a few. But you can definitely see it works already. See, it now has like a grayish tinge to it. And again, we will like blend that shade into my skin, which will be a little bit more difficult because I do have neutral to warm leaning complexion. So that is not quite my skin tone, if you will. So, but yeah, so far that is looking really good. Exactly what I wanted. And now we'll go back to the original brush and add a tingy bit. You can always, like I do, rub a little bit off your palette or your hand and just like blend these two shades together, so it's not like looking like it is like just a veil on top of it, so that both of these shades are blending in together. Use Immortal on a Singe E01, and I think we will just, that's a pretty shade, we will just like give it some grace in the inner corner. We'll also blend it a little bit on the lid. Pretty sure we will use as a next step some shimmers. I will also blend it a little bit with the like deep shades in that corner. But I mean, I could do a full-on matte look and I would be so damn happy just telling you that. But I don't, for you. I will use at least 1 or 2 shimmer shades because listen, that is so damn pretty. And I definitely think you can tell the difference between depth of both of these shades. Oh, they are so pretty. They are so pretty. Okay, let's use shimmers. But I mean, I could do just that. I would be so damn happy. Listen, the shimmer shade to choose is really not easy because we do have like 5 really pretty shimmers. I swatched a few to see what will go with the look, and I think I will go with Nocturnal, which is this shade here, just all like on the outer corners. This one seemed to pick up quite well. I will spritz that. I spritzed it a little bit with some setting spray, and we will put that right here to the edge of the deep shade. That is a pretty shade though. I feel like that is really meshing greatly with like the deep purple on the edge. We can and probably will also like just use a little bit of the matte phantom shade and just like go to the edge of the shimmer and just like stamp a little bit on there so that everything is mashing together. Like, this is so damn pretty. And now for the, let me see, where do I have brush? Let me go with Pale Moon, which is this shade here, as a transition between the matte and the other, the matte and the shimmer shade. And again, we will spritz that as well. I know I'm not using the Multichrome, but maybe on the lower lashes. This did not pick up quite like good, which does not mean a thing, but like, look at this. It's also really pretty. Let me also use a little bit more on that brush because we can. Then we just spray that again and we will, ooh, yeah, that's better. I'm trying not to over blend so that we definitely still have the like more thick cut crease-y here on the edge. I mean, look at this. So damn pretty. Of course you can go in, I will just like blend it a little bit more with matte, but that is so damn pretty. I love that. Of course we will go with obscure in the inner corner. This one is a more like flaky type of product, so just keep that in mind. Just like put that in the inner part and the inner corner. This has a definitely beautiful blue shift as well. Such a pretty shade. I don't know if that is like one of those colors that you see quite a bit in those purple palettes where you have like a clean base but then you have like a bluish shift. You know what? I do want to add like the Multichrome in this on the corner area. Let's do that. Just cleaned the brush and I will use again the Multichrome. Did give it a good spritz. Trying to like use as much product that you can tell when I look straight at you that there is another like shade. It's a pretty color though. I don't think though you can see a lot of the Multichrome effect, but I definitely think it's a good color. Do think though if it would like put that on the lid it would have a better like effect, but in general I do love the look. What do you think? I love it. I love the look. I do think that this bright matte area is such a pretty like a pop of color. I will like add in some liner, some lashes, and I'll be right back. Also adding a lip. This is the finished look. I absolutely love it. I added some liner. This one is by Catrice and I think it is in Blues Willis. I think so. I think they discontinued this, so I'm sorry for that. For lashes, I have the Kiss Empress lashes. And for lips, I decided to go with the purple because I normally don't do purples. And this one is by Kaleidos and it is the shade Siren, which is the Will-O-Wisp bundle. So I think that is so damn cute. I absolutely love the look. I think definitely the colors are stunning. The only thing I would say is that obscure, like this shade, if you have it in the inner corner, it definitely lifts a matte shade underneath, because I do have again the shade Immortal underneath and I felt it lifted it a little bit, so just be aware of that. But other than this, everything worked really nicely together. Definitely can see my I can see myself using this even more, also with of course some of the other matte shades. There's also like a deep purple which you can use as well. I absolutely love it. Don't have something bad to say about it. I mean, listen, I think this one will be really pretty together with all the others. Delicious Delights, for example, will definitely be fun. Yeah, I do love it. I hope you enjoyed my little tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the look. If you do, please don't forget to subscribe. If you hear background noises, this is my husband doing our garden, which conveniently is now. Also, it is absolutely free and I would love to have you in my small little family. If you want to, like, did you purchase the palette? I do think the front is super and pretty. Did you purchase the palette or did you like skip on this? Tell me everything about it in the comments. I would really love to hear from you. And yeah, I wish you a beautiful week and we see us in my next video. So bye guys.